Welcome to the Friendlyjordies podcast. Thank you for joining us. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, do that. If you like the podcast, then consider becoming a patron. Patron.
I mean, just remember, you are in good company. The head of, I can't even remember what it's called, AFTers, hates this podcast.
Yeah, but did you? I read that. It was kind of gut.
But it's so weird that he just sits there listening to this podcast going, what a load of shit. Oh, okay, this guy from Lightning Ridge FM. Now, there's talent. He was able to announce Kelly Clarkson back-to-back with Britney Spears. Now, that's a bit of a tongue twister there. He's ready for the big leagues. The
so basically,
Coast.
If we were back on Move FM, then he'd be like, finally, some common sense, a good move.
Yeah, they haven't shouted out Macca's once.
But I told you my
radio.
I have a feeling that a lot of these people, these pod haters, I kind of don't even blame them because they have listened to the pod from these clips, these out of context clips. So they think that the entire pod is just that. People that listen to it, have been listening to it for a while, know that that's only part of it.
I know. That's 50%.
Wait,
the other 50% is Miss Love talking about very obscure musical equipment.
Yeah, that's half of it. And I think that's something he also hates. So the head of, I read his thing. He was just.
So was it literally to do with the content? Was it literally just like you use the Canon 1012? I specifically said in the last year's media report the 1012's dead. It's all about the 1013.
No, that was the rest of the report. It was all of these media insiders from all of Australia's biggest losers that don't have an audience themselves and teach at media schools, giving advice to someone who actually does have an audience. And pretty much their advice was, I don't like that the way that he exposes corruption is on a camera phone. He should have a $200,000 camera to avoid some shaking. That was pretty much what it came down to. And then there was the AFTers guy going, I cannot believe that a podcast that is completely extemporaneous, where they don't think about the subjects at all and just go on air live, is a bit sloppy. What the hell is this?
That's his thing.
He should spend his entire life preparing for the podcast because that's what I assume everybody does, right? Like the entire Australian economy just revolves around people flogging Ray and White.
I was watching the Hamish and Andy podcast today. They do exactly that.
What do they do? They're just like, how good sport? Shout out KFC, that kind of shit.
Yeah. Shout out KFC.
Is it? Is that kind of thing?
Actually, can we shout out KFC?
Yeah. We don't want to get.
No, their stuff looks unstructured.
Oh, what theirs does?
Yeah, Hamish.
Really?
Am I crazy?
You didn't think that?
No, I'm just surprised.
No, the best broadcasters do most of the show off the top of their head. I think that they have a little inside tip for everybody there. Not that you would really need to know because this is the day and age of Twitch. So it really was strange. This 70-year-old man trying to grasp the concept that the internet is a little more loose than Smooth FM. But
hey, for all those haters,
what?
Miss Love, can you show them our board?
Yeah, we did some planning for once.
Oh, yeah.
That camera. Show them. Look at this.
Tell them what you're selling.
Hold up. I'm going to be like Conan.
That camera.
All right, Mr. Whoever you are from Afters, I read your thing and it kind of hurt. So here's the thing. Structure, bitches.
It really shouldn't because I'm going to respond back to you. Dude, you are the radio equivalent of NIDA. Your time in the sun is done. You are just a legacy of a time gone by where you were able to live off the currency of prestige. But nobody, and I used to want to be in radio, even I don't want to be in radio now. I cannot imagine anything sadder than getting up at 6 a.m. to talk to just Canberra. And not even Canberra, just a slither of it.
Well, we did it. We did it, except for the lower...
Just like our entire generation, we did it ironically.
Yeah,
we were basically there to laugh at the fact that we were communicating through a system that was invented in World War II. And it was still running from then. Yeah,
it looks Soviet. And Miss Love, I don't know how to break this to you. When you brought the news that, dude, we could do a drive home show in Lithgow, none of us thought that's gonna take us to the next level.
But it was just me, wasn't it? It was just me.
That is the funniest shit ever.
Well, I basically am a boomer, so I'm just like, well, I'm
And I just really
I'm
liked the
disappointed in your
fact-
opinion, but everyone's entitled to their opinion.
I really like the fact that all these dinosaurs, like, you know, not to brag, but I suppose there's no other way to do this but to brag. This is one of the most popular podcasts in the country. Quantifiably by its
Really?
numbers.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely, it is. Yeah, like, and the fact that there was a guy...
By the way,
Go.
everyone's saying poor Prawny. Stop paying up Prawny because he's on AM. Sorry,
No, but
Prawny
he's
knows.
smart. He's smart. He's LinkedIn.
He's got a LinkedIn profile.
Step into the future.
No, everybody. I really like Prawny too. I feel for him though.
But what were you going to say? An old man in
It's
Move.
just
Because I
fucking
love
hilarious
reminiscing
that
about
there
Move.
is just that fat broomhead in Lithgow that had the hosts of one of the most popular podcasts in the country. It really, it's not that far down from Hamish and Andy's podcast.
Damn.
Who
That's crazy.
used to be the Drive team, and then they
Shout
replaced
out.
us
Shout
with
out to
them.
us.
And then that guy
Insane,
was
yeah.
sitting there just being like, "Oh, no, this is not going to be a draw at all. Let's go back to the guy that is 10 years younger than me. Sounds really old as well. Let's get him to announce the Kelly Clarkson song." So I think that's what the youth really wants.
But you know what it came down to? Let's
What?
just listen to this. How funny is this? Because I'm a moron, right? So basically, he was away for a bit, and I was like, oh no, too much pressure. I have to live stream on site at a power plant, basically a nuclear power plant. Like, I don't know what our lives were. I had to live.
What the hell?
I had to live
Why
stream.
does that deserve a live stream? Why do you have to go out of the studio for that?
I don't know. But I had to drive.
Fuck me, that's
I
funny.
had to take time out of my real job to drive to a power station, a coal-fired power station, and with a sausage sizzle and there's a Nationals stand. There's no green stand. There's sausage sizzle. There's probably some people being like, we do coffees and finger buns. Just that's it. And me and this scared, what do you call it? Not intern. Who was that? Remember that girl that used to just sit? Admin. The girl who used to be like, I'm really scared to lose my job. The pale girl upstairs. Me and her were there.
Just obligatory. For every media company in the country, you have to have at least one scared, pale woman that you don't know the name of. Has to be there.
Anyway, so I screwed up.
Both Miss Love and I will hit on her.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So
Guaranteed. That's part of the deal.
So I screwed up the live stream because I barely managed to get the cap off the front of his camera when we were filming the other day. Anyway, so it all went to shit. It all went to
What a
shit.
clip! Who knew?
It all went to shit, and then I was like, there was a small adjustment I had to make, and I asked old Broomhead, our old boss. I said, "Listen, can you?"
Dude, I'm sorry, but we have to point this out as well. He did have a name. I can't remember what it was. We used to call our boss Broomhead. And I'm still genuinely curious as to why we were fired.
I'm gonna look back on those times and just be like, best times of my life.
Dude, they were. They absolutely were.
Yeah.
Like, if I could do it again, I would. But I'm saying this one more time, just for you, the guy from Afters, as a joke. As a joke. Even if I was invited to go on Kiss FM, I wouldn't do it. You're talking to Just Sydney. It's stupid.
Yeah.
We continue.
Anyway, essentially, my point is, I asked him for a tiny favor. I said something, the boss, I said something, Broomhead. I said something along the lines of I've relayed the footage. Can you back it up on one of these servers because I have to leave? Not a huge ask.
Reasonable, yeah.
I think that's why we got fired. Because I dared ask him for anything. For anything.
Well, I think at one point they were like,
Became too much of a liability.
and how much did they pay?
Dude, they paid
$100 a
nothing.
week or something.
No, nothing. It was like Jordan split.
Like podcast match, you'd thank his lucky stars for how much he was fucking getting here. Like, we
Let's
think
not
about
gonna-
whatever his was, halve that. That's what us two were getting. So obviously,
We were
I
kind
was
of-
sitting there saying, you may as well just give it to me for free. Like, I'll just give this money to a homeless man. While Miss Love was sitting there saying, oh, right, $90.
No, dude, it was Jordan halved. Jordan was nice enough to give me half his wage, and
He had a
Jordan was paid,
mortgage.
and,
He had a mortgage.
and he was paying
Leave
my
the man
rent,
alone.
and he was paying my mortgage, and I had a mortgage. What were our lives? And essentially,
So weird. Think about the dynamic between us, Ali. What a strange friendship this has eventuated to being 10 years down the track. Two guys goofing off in maths.
Yep.
Who'd have known 10 years later that you would be my landlord and I would be your boss
I know.
at the same time? How does that work?
I don't know.
That's insane.
It is really
And
weird.
for the audience, you
It's
guys
so
would
weird.
think that when
How
they were
the-
growing up, Jordan would be the one who they were like, he's going to do things. Mishlo's not going to do. That is not the case. Both of them were supposed to never do anything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We were both to be nothing, like to be. I don't know, like bricklayers, I suppose. I don't know. I did a media degree, so my, the craziest thing is my highest ambition in my 18 to 20s was to be like, maybe I can get a job at BuzzFeed. Not really, but like a journalist. It's just funny to think that like
I remember once, Ali, I was, now that I look back at it, never prouder. We were a lot younger and we were a lot more naive. And I remember you saying, man, because I just finished uni, I don't know what to do with my life. I just decided to fill out a form for BuzzFeed.
who? Oh,
Ali,
you did.
to apply
Oh,
for
so we-
BuzzFeed.
so
and
we've
he said
both
to me,
been there.
and then I said, did you submit it? And he was like, nah, I got halfway through it and thought, nah.
No, but do you remember why? Do you remember why I got halfway through it and said no?
No,
There's a very specific
Why?
reason. So in BuzzFeed's a job application form, first of all, I hated the fact that they had just copy pasted it from American form to Australian one because there was a compulsory requirement where you put
Are you
down your
Native American?
ethnicity,
Yeah.
and it did not even have my ethnicity. I had to put myself down as Native American because, or like, no, sorry, not Native American. It was either I put my down white, Hispanic, Native American. Basically, it didn't have my
Hispanic's close
denomination.
enough, right?
So then
Yeah.
I was like, I don't think I want to work for an organization that's too lazy to even make an Australia-specific one, and that's not even considering that there's a compulsory requirement to put in your ethnicity. What's the point of that shit?
Jesus Christ. Even BuzzFeed's applications are annoying.
Hey, Deadly Drop Bear just said Miss Love would have saved BuzzFeed from bankruptcy.
Probably would.
What? Why? Explain yourself.
Hey, Deadly Drop Bear, why? Why would I
What are
have
you
saved
talking
it?
about?
Go on, we'll wait for you.
Yeah, we'll wait for you, but I want to know this. I'd be very, very curious.
Hey, hold up. So this guy, he said something that's important. He's like, can't say he's Paki, so he put himself down as Indian. Rim shot. That was part of it. But would you guys
Wait,
believe?
so you had the option of Indian.
No,
so you
that's
just
what I'm
put down
saying.
Native
Hispanic.
American.
They didn't have an option of Indian. It had East Asian, and we are not East Asian. But you have identified a point. I hate where like the only option is Indian. Because even though, let's be real, I am Indian, but I'm not Indian. It's tough. It's tough. That is a legitimate thing. Good on you.
This guy's not even listening. He must have gone. He's like, whoa, my microwave Pop-Tarts are ready. Bing.
And he's out.
Okay, should we
eternal struggle of
do
our
like
audience.
actual segments? Let's bring out the first one. 'Cause this
I don't
is
know.
very
Let's
fun.
bring out the
Is
least
there any
racy
point,
one.
like, dude, just turn on ABC News. Those are the topics.
Shut up. They're like, what
He's
about?
not wrong.
Dude, look at
Okay.
it. COVID. When's
Nah.
Trump going to leave the White House? COVID.
No, look, hold up.
Just chuck and then cram in a Jordan.
There's-
What do you call it? Like.
Well, let's start with Miss, because Miss Love and I just had a bet. Miss Love.
Yes, we did.
Would you care? So the first segment was, would you take a COVID vaccine? So,
Mm-hmm.
Miss Love, as soon as I walked into the studio, Mislav was like, oh, what fucking moron. Why would I do it? They can't mandatorily make me do it. And what I told Mislav is that I will bet you any amount of money that you would voluntarily go and get that shot. Mislav, do you know why I'm so confident?
Why?
So do you know that it's not just going to be like, take your COVID vaccine if you want to or if you don't want to?
Yeah.
They're going to give you...
Yeah, I am. I'm just thinking.
They're going to make you...
the government's going to make me do it.
Well, no, they're not. They can't make you do it legally.
what's your
but
point?
what they'll do is
I call
they'll
fake
say you
news.
can't fly until you don't have, because Qantas just announced that.
Yeah.
You can only fly if you get a COVID vaccine. That's going to apply to venues. You won't be able to perform at clubs because they'll be like, if you want to go into the club, then you have to get a COVID vaccine, which is why I am very positive that you will get a vaccine.
I have an answer for you,
Go on.
and I don't know if you're going to get it. I'll show it to the camera first. Jordan, don't say it. Can you zoom in on that? Yeah. What the fuck? You can't see shit. Can you focus that?
Well, I gotta...
Stupid headphones. Here, focus this.
Which camera are you using?
Can you see it? Yeah, that's better.
What are you doing, Miss? Have you made a turd?
Do you get
Do
it?
you know what that is?
A turd. No.
He doesn't.
He doesn't know. You know what that means?
Holy shit, real life Luann.
It's a bean.
Hey, guys, in the comments, do you know what it is?
Comments. Let's just see what they say, then I'll answer you.
Yes!
It's a door.
Yes! Yes! Dignity, Luann! Look at it go!
Why is that dignity?
Comment after comment.
You got told,
finally.
Ali.
And that's why we should
Dignity.
change the flag.
No, look.
Oh, just, I have that tattoo, guys.
Mad. Look, it's a Simpsons thing. All I'm gonna
No
say is
wonder, look, all this time that he was spending learning about the country that adopted him in, he doesn't even know like a very
know.
specific reference from season 7.
I think that specific reference was like the 4th thing on the citizenship test. Am I crazy?
But, so you okay? Can you
Dignity.
Tell me?
That's why I'm not doing it.
Okay, I
No,
missed
look.
that. But why?
This
so
is
you're
what I-
saying you're not going to do it.
Well,
even
look.
if
This
you're
is
forced?
here's the thing. The reason I don't want to take it is because if I was like 40 and older, maybe even 50 and older, yeah, I'd do it. It's a responsible thing to do. In terms of
Why is it not responsible for you to do it now?
I just think, in terms of the age bracket we're in, you can get it when you're 30.
Yeah, but the problem isn't that you get it. The problem is you can give it, which is why the vaccine is important.
Yeah, but Ali, he's not them.
Yeah, okay, sure, you can give it. I understand that. I'm not like anti-vaxxer. I just think that like
He's about to say something very anti.
I just think clip
just
this.
think you can trust
No, I think that
Wait, hold
look,
on.
you do have a good point about spreading it. The only 2 people I see in my life are you 2 clowns. I don't think I'm going to be spreading it that much. And secondarily, I don't buy this whole like they won't let you into a venue, you won't be able to travel. Like, I don't think they're going to give you a fucking
Do you
certificate.
want to bet on that too?
Yeah,
So you bet me
I don't think so.
$5 on that. How
Yeah.
about $50 on this one?
All right, fine.
That they'll
I don't
stop
think that's
you
going to
from
happen.
going to
Maybe
venues.
I don't think that's the thing.
This way, you know your lifelong dream of living in Bali.
Yes.
You won't be able to do that.
Yeah,
I don't. Do you want to bet too? Do you want to just all put your money where your
I
mouth
do
is?
agree with him though. He is not going to be giving that to anybody.
Okay, can
Because
we?
he does just hang out with us and his housemates, which I'm pretty sure are just 4 giant strands of COVID walking around.
They've got the spikes.
But you legitimately think they're going to be like, wait, someone's like walking into a streaming Jets gig in Enmore. They're like, hey, hold on a sec. Where's your COVID vaccine certificate? You
Not for
legitimately
that,
think that's
but,
going to happen?
Miss, you're going to have to miss out on the future Ariana Grande concerts. I'm
Well, that's
sorry.
fine.
You could live with that?
Yes.
You can live with that.
Yes, I
Okay,
can.
you can, I can't.
What
Maybe
about?
we're just different like that.
What if? What's his name? The fucking guy that you love so much.
Who's the
King
guy I love so
Impala.
much? KP.
Yeah, he'll probably do that.
Nah, they won't. He won't.
what,
Dude,
Brad?
KP would be the
Well,
first
the
guy.
audience is saying travel yes, venue no.
I don't even think
I
travel.
beg to differ.
I don't buy travel.
We'll see. Depends
Dude,
on how big the venue is.
I don't buy travel either. I think that it'll be something that's going to be once it reduces and once it becomes like a less what do you call it, like poignant sort of like stream, or like once it's sort of like diluted, I don't think they're going to be like they're going to care.
Okay, so can you give me
Maybe
in
initially.
principle, why do you not want to get the vaccine? Let's forget about
In
if they'll make
principle.
you do it. What's your problem with the vaccine?
It's going to give you autism.
No, I have no problem with the vaccine per se. I'm just saying that I think that anyone between the ages of like 0 to 30 that has a decent immune system that like goes outside and like eats zinc isn't going to catch it.
Sorry,
he
means to say zinger burger.
That as well. You got to get
that
facts.
as well, but what an Eastern European man. You can just replace zinc with garlic. That is his people's catch cry. Medicine for
garlic is a fucking medicinal thing. Garlic
Just
does
getting more
stave.
specific.
Garlic staves off the flu, my friend. Pump the garlic; it
keeps
helps.
vampires away. True
Exactly.
story.
So, are you convinced or what?
The
The
only
only
should
thing
have like a clove of garlic as a necklace.
Dude, how
the
good
only
is-
the only point.
I am willing to work a full day in sun in the middle of Australia to get that vaccine.
Fair enough.
But Ali, don't you think that when the vaccine first comes out, there's going to be problems with it and botches, and there will be massive increases in autism? Fact.
Again,
Do a sound effect. Yeah, you know what you should do? Every time he says something insane, put a sound effect because that can't be taken out and that
Actually,
automatically
that
deletes
deserves
it.
2 sound effects. I'm going to go with a random one.
That's more
That's
appropriate.
very
Oh,
appropriate.
shit. That means you're right.
But no, look,
surely there's going to be botched problems with the first batch.
Look, that's why they do testing.
dude, what about
But
what
they
about
also do
projects?
testing. This is something that I don't like about the whole medicinal system in the US and here. Well, actually, here we've got better laws against it, but a lot of these things are supposed to
It's
last,
gung-ho.
you know, like 10 years, 20 years. They have a testing range of what? Even in this one, I think it would just be a couple of months.
Will you admit
and then
they're rushing
supposed
it?
To guess that that's supposed
What-
to be fine.
yeah,
for
will you
another
admit
No,
that?
I'm 100.
But you-
everybody knows that they're rushing it, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to be good.
No, but what do you? What?
Why?
Okay, this is what I want to ask.
Does it mean that it's definitely going to be good? That's my question.
Apparently it's 90% good. That's
That's
official stats.
too low for
The other
me.
thing
Isn't
is
there like a lower chance of you getting it in this country anyway?
well, not
Yeah.
lower than once you get the vaccine, because that would be lowest.
Yeah, but-
Right.
lower than other countries, 100%.
Yeah, dude. What about? It's like like what
I just
about
like
the?
the current system of never leaving our house and like
Yeah.
you know just forcing this constant stream of Spanish students to get really muscly legs on Uber bikes. Why?
No, I don't disagree. It's just like just check it in there. But like, yeah, what about like warp speed? What about the project warp speed just doesn't tantalize you? You know what I mean?
What Project Warp Speed? Just
So dodgy.
Well,
It just reeks of like, 90% is good, but it's not good enough. That's for me.
What
Yeah.
are you talking about, dude? 90% is fucking great.
Not
As
for
opposed
me.
to 0%.
No.
Dude, can you sorry, I need to address this issue. Can you guys realize that you're living in a world where your government is providing you a free vaccine from a plague that will make you immune to shit that would have most likely, or if not most likely, had a reasonable chance of killing you less than 50 years ago? We used to die from smallpox, and then we came up with vaccines, and today we're not dying from smallpox. That is an incredible achievement.
But smallpox isn't COVID.
COVID is also a disease. We also
yes.
died from
We're
like the
dying
Spanish
from
flu.
Ali, fluoride.
It
And
is.
that's government
Makes
No,
us
you know
get
you're also dying
more
from
important.
the regular flu as well. Do 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 do
Yeah,
do
and
do.
they have
Yeah.
vaccines for that every year too.
They do, but smallpox.
But Misov doesn't take him.
Smallpox. I would assume tax someone for if they're 30 or if they're 60. There's a slight difference between someone that is a like peak fit healthy age and condition to like someone with pre-existing conditions that's in their 80s. Would you say that?
Triggered. I had this massive fight with my brother yesterday.
Wait, are you disagreeing with that?
Yes, a little bit, because I don't like the context of this. Because even my brother, do you know what he was trying to argue yesterday?
Go on.
Tell me I'm crazy. He was saying, I was eating, I went to 7-Eleven with him, and I got a chocolate, and I was firstly feeling guilty that I'm eating chocolate because it's really fattening. But then I realized,
But it's yummy.
dude, I live in a world.
What is your life?
I live in a world where they have this packaged item that is available to me at any time, and it's got the calories that my ancestors would have literally killed for, and it is designed to have like the greatest tasting effect that sugar can have. And so I was telling my brother, it's kind of crazy that we now live in a time where we kind of don't have to like constantly fight for survival, and we're not getting eaten by bears. And like whenever we need any form of nutrition, it's like literally we open our magical door which keeps all our food fresh, and it's just always there. And if there isn't, there's like a little shop that you can walk to and get. And he was like, the thing is, our life is actually worse than them because we're not happy. It's like, what are you talking about? They died at 30 as a rule.
Yeah, I don't agree with him.
It's the quality of that 30 that's important. It's like, ugh, this is incredible. We are living in a great time.
He's
There's
a real
issues.
We
have to deal with pedestrian.
It's pretty quality.
But it's still all right. There's Newtown, and that's annoying. But it's still
Glebe.
significantly better than any time in history. And vaccines are just an example of it. That so quickly we're able to deal with this disease.
Dude, I'm not. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, like, it's so naive. It's so naive to be like, yeah, but they had, you know, like bear skins on their back. It's like, dude. Okay, I got four words for you. 4 words for
He's
you.
got a good point there.
4 words for you to your brother. This is all I'd ask him. Do you like ramen? If he says yes, then get the fuck out of here, dude. Like, they didn't have that shit back then, unless you're in Japan.
And we have vaccines. We have antibiotics. We have a lot of great
I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I'm just telling you that, like, I don't, like what Jordan said. Look, you know what? One thing I will give you, dude. The one thing I'll concede your point that you make is that I will concede that irrelevant of how fit and healthy I am, I can pass it on. Yeah. That I will concede, and that would be one thing that would sort of play on my mind and would possibly, depending on, you know, how social I am, which I'm not, especially now, but I think it's about personal responsibility in terms of how you live your life as well, and how social you are, and how. But like that, I'll concede. I'll concede. But all the other things, I think I'm right and you're wrong.
Look,
and 90%, dude.
I would just take it because I like to travel.
Dude, it's not going to be the case like that forever. I think once once the majority of the population, once it. Like
Miss Love, someone saying Smelly Stench says Miss Love, the flu shot is 50 to 60% effective. That's true, but I don't understand why.
But the flu's a little different.
The flu is a little different. Like it every time there's a flu, it's a
little bit different.
It's mutated, so it's hard to keep track of it.
Yeah.
But now, and this is the incredible thing about like our modern medical system. You know, we're coming out with flu vaccines now that can mutate as the disease morphs. So it's kind of sentient.
Damn.
That vaccine, it changes.
Is that
that's really cool?
Is that because of the vaccine? Is that because of the vaccine, or they're not able to keep up with it? Is that how it works?
Like every time we release a flu vaccine, it's based on the flu season that we had last time.
I see. And
every year it's slightly different. But
if you
now we're coming up with vaccines that can actually mutate.
If you really want to talk about scary stuff in this realm, in the realm of like bio, you know, whatever it's called, like this shit, like.
Centrum has every vitamin from A to Z.
Zinc's in there. Antibiotics. Because antibiotics, same thing with the fluid, are sort of adapting and mutating. And they're saying...
No, they're not adapting. We are adapting and
antibiotics
mutating.
No, not antibiotics. Sorry, like...
Irish.
The virus, you know, you have a wound... You take an antibiotic to prevent. So
what I know what you're saying.
What's happening is doctors are over prescribing antibiotics,
and
now
issue.
Someone's just like, mummy's got a headache, and you know, I think I was overprescribed antibiotics when I was a kid because of ear infections or something, and like this is the thing, like generally people they're being over prescribed and then they're mutating, so. Because someone's like, I got a headache, antibiotics, or not a headache, but like, well, I don't know, it's little things. And now they're saying that like these super resistant strains are going to happen where someone's like, we could get to a point where someone has like a, you know, war wound and their leg's been blown off and they're like, it's going to be like pre-antibiotic days where it's like, well, we don't have an antibiotic that's going to be successful on you. They've mutated to that level now. That's
Yeah,
the
where's all your fancy medical degrees now, doctors? You couldn't even fucking.
that
hold it
terrifies
back,
me
could you?
way more than COVID.
That is a very.
Why does that scare you more?
Because that's
You're never going to get your leg blown off.
no, but it's a
You're not-
It's
cut.
actually worse.
Well-
That is a
Dude, what are you talking about? Have your teeth taken out for your wisdom teeth. You need antibiotics. You have giant, open, gaping wounds.
Do you? Surely just that Colgate mouthwash does that. Wouldn't that work for that?
That's just lukewarm
Maybe
mint
that's the
water.
problem solved. Even when you get your leg blown off,
Miss,
just
you wanna hear something that's
not the
even more?
mild one.
Minty fresh. Sorry.
You want to hear something that's even more fucked? So
Tell
even
me.
if today you stop taking antibiotics, right?
Yeah.
You could still very well be resistant to it because the food that you eat. Animals are constantly pumped with antibiotics because they don't want them to die and they don't want to get
Dude, that's fucked. So is it cows, cattle mainly?
cows.
Everything.
All livestock.
Chickens.
All livestock.
Heaps is pumped into chickens.
Really?
So that
Probably put antibiotics in broccoli. Don't you think?
Wait a sec.
I thought I saw it move. Quick.
Can
broccoli
you?
has its own thing, which is pesticides. which is also
Pesticides are
pretty
horrible
bad.
too, and we're only seeing the
And
results of
you
this
think
shit
this
now.
is a better age we live in, Ali?
Yeah,
I agree with
well,
your brother, actually.
Well, you know what? There's a little from column A and a little from column B. Let's just shade. No, you're mainly right though. Do they do it to fish?
Yeah.
They put
Farm
antibiotics.
they do.
fish, they would.
Yeah.
Fuck. So there's no escape. There's no escape.
No. You're getting your leg blown off, and we're not going to be able to heal it. I'm sorry. You should
Great.
lament in advance.
there is some good
so you're
news
not
on
as
that.
sad when it actually happens.
But miss, there is some good news, and I don't want to like put it out there just yet because it's like kind of like climate change. If you say it's getting better, people stop doing it.
I think we've already
But
been
we have,
cancelled
like, the
on this
next-
one, so-
We're working and we're getting close to a next generation of antibiotics too. It will take time, but the hope is by the time we're all resistant to it, that's the time that we'll be able to bring it out. But there's no guarantee.
So you're
Just
saying
cut to the chase and make microscopic robots.
that? Yeah. Well,
And
was
make
Metal,
them look like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
was Metal Gear Solid lying? Those microbots are a thing, right? Or they're gonna be a
I
thing.
think they exist, don't
They
they?
exist, don't
I'm
they?
sure they exist.
Pretty incredible. It's pretty incredible.
But maybe we're in those 80 stages where it's not actually that small. Like a microbot is just the size of a calculator. And they're just like, in
You're just
the
going
gate. Yeah.
Well, while we're on the topic, Jordan,
Nanomachines,
I
nanomachines.
want your view on this. Have you followed the news? Gladys has shown clear disregard for the rule of law and abuse of power by not isolating while waiting for a COVID result.
Look, all right, audience. Should I bother doing a video about that? Or do you
Yeah.
think that is just one of those article things that Junkie would go, oh my God, I can't be bothered to do any deep research into why she's actually fucked, and then it just keeps going on.
but why is that?
I'm kind of with Jordan on this one.
No, but like again,
It's a
it's,
street- like-
not a substantive thing on its own, but it kind of shows we have this image of Gladys being this like upright lady politician, but like
Everyone's
over and
saying
over
no.
again.
Everyone's saying no, don't bother, don't worry about it. But go on.
But I got to ask this question as well in the comments.
Sorry, I
while
didn't
we're
mean
at
to cut
it.
you off.
No,
Keep-
no, that's all.
Should we do a video on Gladys Berejiklian getting those warning speed camera ahead signs,
Come on.
scrapping them?
I reckon.
Don't
it's-
you think
I think that's
the
better.
average quiet Australian would just go, what? How's that supposed to save more lives?
Yeah.
Oh, this is just revenue collecting.
Mate,
Who
you
the
just-
fuck's responsible for
Hey,
this?
okay,
Oh, she's fucking dead now.
I'm writing the script. Don't jump ahead. Come on, fuck. You're taking all my ideas.
That is your script, isn't it?
pretty
I
much.
just channeled it.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
We've got to
clearly,
that stage where twins just have a connection.
dude, clearly,
spot
the
on.
speed camera vid has a lot more audience members. watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, surely. Okay, so you're all on board with this, yeah? If we did that, that video would do well.
Everyone's saying that's better. Good call. Yes.
Except for
yes.
Keegan who thinks it's un-Australian.
Yes. Make the guilty.
What? Shut the fuck up, Keeganator.
Un-Australian. Get out
What are
of
you
here.
talking about?
But what was your look? I agree with that. I think that's the right way to go. But the old
The Gladys.
the old COVID vaxxer over here. He's got a point. Like
There's
it-
the whole thing, like politicians should do what they prescribe others. That's the whole idea of rule of law. And I know it's a small thing, but it just
not- it's
shows
not a
that
small thing.
She didn't care.
yeah.
She came up with those rules, and she
should
just
have
didn't
done it.
give a shit.
It's poor
And this is
form.
after like coming out of hot waters from this massive corruption scandal. You'd imagine. Look, we got like what canceled the other, like almost got canceled the other day. In this podcast, we were slightly more careful. it seems that she doesn't care. She thinks she's bulletproof. She has that idea of like, if I stand in Fifth
Dude, she
Avenue-
did just get away with excusing corruption that was played back to her in ICAC.
I don't know how.
And she's still there.
And she's
She's
still there.
bulletproof.
Yeah.
And she will win the next election.
She now has like
Well,
complete
wait, if
disregard.
the very loyal rat is watching, we didn't make a bet, but God, he was so arrogantly confident. She'll be out next week. Where are you now, young man?
Yeah, he does that a lot.
Does
he?
he?
Well, he's got a very Alex Jonesy mind. He's brilliant.
He is
but
Alex
He also
Jonesy.
just goes ahead on things
Yeah,
like
this
that.
is how it's gonna go.
Let me give you some inside baseball.
Yeah, yeah, that's
And look,
him.
sometimes his inside baseball plans out, but other times it's kind of just like Alex Jones in 2015 saying, "You mark my words, Euro collapsing next week. Next week it's collapsing tomorrow. Buy some pills."
It didn't collapse, but
You know what?
essentially
it is?
what I was
And
saying.
I'm sorry, but this is just a very. I know that everybody doesn't like me talking about star signs, but it's very Aquarius.
Who says? Go on, I love that stuff.
yeah, who
Do
says
you
don't
like me
talk about-
talking about star signs? Yes,
let's
or no?
hear
Because
it.
I like talking about it.
Let's hear it.
But it is a very Aquarius trait.
What is?
Just this thing of just like, I really like the Aquarius sign. Me personally, anyway, because I'm just a Leo and I'm like that. But like Leos and Aquarius just get on really well, and I have a very disproportionate amount of Aquariuses in my life, and that's pretty much my only evidence for why this stuff exists. Because I'm supposed to get on with Aquarius, and I do.
Right.
And I
that
like
you?
the fact. Yeah,
I am.
he is. They're deep thinkers. They like thinking about things a lot. And just like Dome Kang, they kind of just think about things so deeply that they kind of just get into a sort of alternate universe that could be extremely correct or extremely incorrect. That is a
can see
really
that
Aquarius trait. Huh?
I can see that happening. Well, it's definitely true for me and Dome King both. We both are. Kind
Is
of
he
like
also Aquarius?
that. Yeah, yeah.
Rat Boy.
No. What's
Dome
he?
King.
Yeah, he is.
Wait,
Rat Boy is
what's
also
each of
a-
them?
Huh?
Dome and Rattan.
Dome Boy, Dome King, Rat Boy are both Aquarius.
Oh, Jesus.
Sandy's Aquarius. Ali's Aquarius.
Yeah.
It's pretty much everyone except you.
Yeah. How do I fit in there? I'm just like the,
I'm pretty sure one of my editors is an Aquarius as well.
I figured that out.
And it would make a lot of sense because he says every sentence he's ever said in his life, you're just like, I can't figure out if you're that man in Game of Thrones that's a tree or someone with Tourette's on the bus rambling to themselves. It's one or the other. But everything that you say sounds wise, but also doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Do you think it has to do with like Leos want to be the center of stage all the time? They want to be the center of attraction, and Aquarians don't really care about center stage. What they like is thinking about ideas.
Being
And
behind
so,
the
like,
Definitely, that's
it's
the whole
a very
thing.
sweet spot to be. Like for
It's
me,
a great symbiotic
ideally-
relationship because like the Leo just likes being on the stage,
Right.
and the Aquarians like being the strings of the puppet making it move.
Yeah. We don't care about being the center stage.
How do I
In
fall?
an ideal world, we're not super famous, and
Yeah,
I think I
interesting.
can say that about Christo as well.
No, that's the whole thing, and I think that about Alex Jones. I don't actually think that he likes
What's he?
the stage. He just wants to make sure that his ideas are out there.
Yeah. What's he?
He's an Aquarius.
Wow.
That is full force Aquarius. Alex Jones, like a brilliant mind.
Yeah.
And goes down all of these bizarre tangents, and a lot of them are extremely correct, and a lot of them are extremely incorrect.
Yeah.
That's what they like.
So how do I fall in this? Am I just the Labrador in the corner?
Yeah, of course. You don't even you have a star sign, but you've invented your own star sign. It is Labrador. That is your star sign.
Year of the Labrador, the Chinese year, or whatever. Interesting.
You're a Sagittarius,
Yeah.
and that is pretty much you.
Yeah.
It's just this like, I like being home. I don't mind being homeless, but I really want to be homeless over there.
What? Please explain. What are you talking
They're
about?
just free spirits. They just go around being really jovial and friendly with everyone. They are free spirits. They go from place to place and they don't really care
Well, that's accurate.
about responsibility or anything like that.
Yeah, just stop it. It's like you've known him my whole
How
life.
crazy is it? When he gets drunk, he talks about science. When he's sober, he talks about horoscopes.
Yeah, strange guy.
So weird. Talking heavy politics when you're smashed.
Yeah. And talking about horoscopes.
I
when you're,
love
like,
it. I love this
totally
stuff
shocked.
though. It is kind of cool. But doesn't that mean I'm like the weakest link or something?
No, you
What do
have
you mean?
everyone.
Because
has
I'm not
their
the one
YouTube-
behind the scenes being like, what you want to do is pull on this lever 20%, but then straight after you pull on this lever 15%. Did you know the fluoride is good for you? It's not what they say. It is good for your teeth. Where do I fall in that? It's been
That is pretty much all of the Aquarians. That
yeah,
is
I know.
them.
But then what I'm there just being like,
You are what I pay you to be. You're a Guido. That's all you do. You just sit there in the corner and go, yo, I'll make you a nice script. Yo, you want some pasta? Yeah, I'm going to make you some pasta, man. That's your whole life. You are, as somebody said when you were on the Neil Cole Hatcar podcast as my replacement,
yeah, you like this. I know.
so good. Some guy commented this. It is the most accurate description I have ever heard of Miss Love's profession in life. It's what he is actually qualified for. He said, Miss Love Balabragic is paid to be the spiritual vibe setter of Friendly.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. That is such an on-point
vibes,
analysis.
I like that.
It's so on point.
And there's a utility for that, miss.
Yeah.
He can't write if you're not providing vibes.
And let's not forget, tasty beige.
That's true. It's like, hey, Jordan, do you want Parmesan on your pasta? Yes, sure. Miss Love. Well, you're
Hey,
the
guess
boss.
what? Guess what? Now, how good's this? I know he wouldn't want it because he doesn't like it. Fuck. What have... Dude,
No, but it's true. There's very, very common traits between Sandy, Ratboy, Dome Kang, and Ali. They are not the same person in terms of their.
by 4%.
Same shit drives us, though.
It's the same. Yeah, it's the same driving product, but like you're just kind of interested in different fields. Like Ratboy, for whatever reason, is obsessed with New South Wales politics specifically.
The most interesting subject on
Doesn't give a fuck
earth.
about Canberra. Doesn't give a fuck about the White
There's
House.
something really admirable about that.
Yeah, I know.
I'd pick
And
a
like, if
different
it's
word
anything further than tweed heads, he's not interested.
Is it across the border? And I don't give a fuck.
Oh, God. Yeah. No, that's true, though. You're
Yeah,
right.
Ali is the exact opposite of that. Ali is really, really interested in Afghanistan.
I think that's more interesting, personally. Yeah, I'll pay that.
Yeah.
The New South
Sandy
Wales
is very, very interested
In Albury.
in all of the. So true.
Nothing wrong with that.
Family trees.
Shout out.
Of fucking people that live in Albury.
But did
it's
she have
so
an
good. Just sitting there just be like, so you worked on that vineyard as well, did you? Well, that is almost as interesting as the book Ali's reading about people that used to go to Gippsland.
What sort of
Hey,
tracks
in her
did you grow up on?
defense, She has a sick family story.
Who?
Sandy.
Yeah, everyone has a sick family story, but the point is, I am not interested enough to go through people's family trees.
Well,
and
speak for
figure out that
yourself.
Interesting stories.
I am.
Speak for yourself.
I am. Dude, I gave my dad one of those ancestry DNA test kits as a birthday gift. Guess what we are? South Asian.
Who would have thought?
So good.
What
Yeah.
is that? That is
Just
just
like-
Pakistan.
It was like
Alexander the Great
85.
ancestry. Answer: no.
It was like 85% South Asian, 10% Central Asian, and like, yeah, the remaining South American.
What?
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
That's
Don't
weird.
know. But I know the Central Asian bit. We knew the Central
What
Asian.
is in indigenous South
There's no
South
way.
American, just like Aztec.
Yeah. There's
No.
part of us. Yeah. But that's kind of
Because there was,
we're all mixed up.
South America. There was quite a bit of immigration from Pakistan, Lebanon, those areas to South America in like pre-war.
That's true, actually. Yeah,
Pre-war.
I've heard. Apparently, they're the ones that brought the kebab and it became a burrito.
No. They became the taco.
Taco.
Yeah, but nice. You've been watching Vice too.
I haven't. I've been playing.
Damn.
Okay, we
What?
get.
So good.
What?
So many good comments. First off, just have to shout this one out. A lot of salami states, quote, Neil and Ali can't be in the same room.
Why? Why can't we be in the same room?
Because he's Indian, dude.
Oh, that's,
Oh, beef.
I like Neil though. I would be in the same room.
He's
as
great.
You know what? I will say this about Neil. Neil is probably the most accepting human being I've met people from Bhutan that are more accepting. But someone who is Indian grew up like with a lot of prejudice against the Pakistanis, right? Like, well, not him specifically, but like that culture or whatever. Dude, he's just like kind of like, oh, interesting point. Yeah, okay, all right. Yeah, you never thought about it that way. That's his whole life. Like, he actually is this generation's Australia's Joe Rogan. Like, you say anything to him and he'll just be like, yeah, really? Okay, yeah, I'll mull on that.
Yeah, he does give off that vibe.
Yeah.
He does seem like a very, very accepting man of ideas.
Yeah, it's actually really cool. I will say that it is a very admirable trait because I certainly don't have that.
He's a very contemplative man.
Yes.
Which is not a bad way to be.
No,
it's the greatest
definitely
way to
not.
take it from
and
me.
It's just great, him just living in an apartment with a cat. And then there's always just some book on the front that's kind of just like something that I read maybe 6 years ago.
Harry Potter 3.
Well, he's up to 5 now. Give him his credit.
No, it was sick to. It was very nice to be on his pod too. It was just like, hey, it's nice. This is nice. No poker table. I have a poker table. That's fine. It's all good, man. Yeah. I have a coffee. Yeah, it's cool. Instant. That's fine. You know, it's cool.
Yeah, I'm rooting for the guy.
Okay. I'm glad that we got there. But that's good to know. I suppose you did actually kind of just fast forward everything that I was going to say. So I suppose we could move on, really. Like, that really did actually sum it up. I just needed a moment to digest it. But yeah, that's the whole reason. You will never be able to hang out with him. Because obviously, I'm saying that he's an extremely accepted guy, but, you know, there'll just be that inevitable interaction between a Pakistani and an Indian that we get when we hang out with a Serbian. We always just, like, have a joke about it, but at the same time aren't really joking about it. Oh, God.
I don't. I genuinely don't have that as much as it might seem. When I see an Indian, I don't think, fuck, you're the opposite gang.
No, I mean, look, you really look. I'm just gonna throw.
Like, you
I'm gonna wait.
realize you have way more in common.
I'm gonna completely. What's the word I'm looking for? Like, I have no reason or ability, or I shouldn't even have a opinion on these. I'm completely uneducated in the matters, but you guys are pretty similar.
No, we are. I see. With your very limited reading,
Pakistanis and Indians
actually nailed it. We are.
No. But Neil and Ali don't have similar. They don't have similar opinion.
I'm not talking about personality. I'm not talking about personalities.
He means like in other ways. He means like culturally similar.
Yeah.
And like ethnically.
I'm not saying,
Dude, I don't know, man.
Well,
when I was in Pakistan that whole time,
vegetarian,
like I was,
right?
I just had to keep wondering, like over and over, am I in Afghanistan? Can't tell.
I didn't say Afghanistan and Pakistan aren't similar.
I actually think Afghanistan and Pakistan would be more similar.
He is trying to argue anyone that is across from that European aisle is similar.
That's not what I'm saying. Well, maybe. But
I'll stick to it. I like that opinion more.
Well, Europeans, I wouldn't say Europeans are all like, oh, yeah.
But you know what? I actually think that culturally, is that
Czechoslovakia.
true? Don't you reckon?
What?
Afghanistan and Pakistan are culturally more similar
Parts
than
of
Pakistan and India.
Parts of Pakistan are more similar with Afghanistan, and parts of Pakistan are more similar with India. It depends on where you
to back up that point too, I wouldn't go like, oh, I'm in Czechoslovakia now. Oh, now I'm in Hungary, am I? Oh, had no idea. Those fucking those exactly the same churches and exactly the same different kinds of stuffed sausages and beer are really different. Oh, you put a bit of fucking pepper in your sausage, you? Oh, yeah, sweet.
These guys use
But
white
I'll
pepper.
put it in a way that you understand. India is very this. And then you go to Pakistan, and this is the only sound in it. Like that's all you hear there. That's the music.
Yeah, the whole
It's like,
Muslim thing.
It is Islamic effort.
Yeah.
There is a real difference between
Right,
the two
okay.
cultures. And
Well, that
actually, we're like when we went to the border crossing.
The border from India.
Huh?
Yeah, the border with
Border
India.
with India.
Yeah, the border with India.
Did you go to
they
India?
like sign off or whatever.
Technically, did you go into India?
No. We were like right on the border. Of it.
Oh, okay.
But like you can just see in the buildings that the two of them have
Really?
there. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They're both trying to give off like a very different vibe. Because that's the whole thing. Pakistan only exists because it was pretty much just India, but they were just like, but we're Muslim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's like the main crux of their, like that's the reason they exist, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a.
Well, that's pretty universal throughout the world that kind of shit happens. So that's not that crazy to
But
think.
I think like Pakistan and maybe Israel, and if I'm not wrong, let me know, are the only two countries that were explicitly made on the idea of protection for particular
religious, really?
But I might be wrong. Also, while we're on the topic, I need to clarify something real quick. On the last podcast, I said something which was completely infactual. I need to clear that now. I said that Joe Biden fought against the Vietnam during the war. Not true. I was thinking of Kerry. Joe Biden was never involved with the military in actual like military capacity.
We fact check here at Friendly Jimmy's
yes,
HQ.
I'm very apologetic about that.
Right. And seeing as, like we have to be a lot more careful about being cancelled in the future, I think it's time that we answer the question, what do you guys think about North Korea?
People are already joking.
People are asking.
People are already joking, being like, Friendly Jimmy's like cancelled for making like racist Indian noise remarks.
Yeah, what do you reckon?
What do I think? Oh,
I think it was the one Trump policy which was actually really, really
Wait,
good.
what's
And that's one of the aspects that is going to suffer because of a Biden presidency.
Wait, what's
you know what? It's just Chomsky's point that they're a rational country like every other country on earth. It's just this idea that they're just like crazy and just being like, I'll do it. That is just perpetrated by the media. It is every time South Korea and the US start ramping up military exercises and activities on the border, that's when they come out and remind everyone, we've got nukes.
Yeah.
You know, they make that point every time. Then every time South Korea has one of its sunshine policies, which comes in when their Democrats are in power, and they start building up factories along the border and start giving North Koreans jobs, they lax back and then they start talking to each other. In fact, South Korea and North Korea are talking to each other.
That's the silver lining because what Trump...
No, it wasn't him.
It wasn't him. It was the South Koreans. But that's what I'm saying. Like the one good thing that I see from the relationship that we will have with North Korea is that the South Koreans are smart, and they're dealing it. In my opinion,
Well, the previous government wasn't. The previous government was very stupid.
Yeah. But I think there's a bipartisan consensus. I might be wrong, but there is somewhat a bipartisan consensus on how, like, the basics of how to deal with North Korea now. They're living next door. The stakes are too high for them. The stakes are like nothing for us in the US.
I don't know. All I know is that the campaigning is that when their Republicans are in power, it's so good. I like how across the world the scare campaigns differ. It's probably like that in Pakistan. Surely there is a party that does this. But pretty much every time they're in, the Republicans will always be campaigning in like Pusan, which is their stronghold. Because Pusan always has this thing of when North Korea invaded back in the 50s, they took Seoul because it was like 30 kilometers away from the border or whatever. But they always have this thing of just like, you guys are such pussies. Why didn't you fight them off? Like, we were totally fine here. Yeah, you're at the bottom of South Korea. What are you talking? You were never in jeopardy.
That's kind of that's kind of like the town where my family's from in Croatia with the whole Serb wars.
Well, what is that?
The town where my family are from were on the basically border with Serbia, the full front of the attacks, and there's people in like
they must hate Serbians more than most.
yeah, probably, but
Probably
like
why they hate Tito more.
probably yeah. But like then there's people in Dubrovnik just being like, this is where they filmed the Game of Thrones. Do you want some peish? It's just a similar thing, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, same with my hometown, actually.
That's probably why you love them, right?
Yeah, they pretty much have the same view as Serbia in my hometown. Because it was just like right on the coast in the north. And
yeah.
Just like, I don't understand. Why should I just stay this Yugoslavia?
Yeah, exactly. But we should point out, like, North Korea, I don't know, it was your question about what do you think of North Korea?
Yeah.
They're like starving their citizens, aren't they?
Oh, but
it depends on the circumstances.
Hey, hold up.
Sound effect.
Anything
controversial, we do that because they can't be.
Sarcasm. But
What do you?
if you're rich in North Korea, then you're not starving. That's what Jordan is saying, right? If you're like part of the,
Christ.
if you're dependent.
No. I'm saying that there is always just this point that is put out that the North Koreans are just feeding their soldiers and not feeding their citizens.
And that's bad.
True. That's true.
It's
but why are
bad.
they doing that?
Just shades
because
bad.
it just Yeah, it's bad. Okay,
Wait,
yeah, we
say it
saved
again.
it. But like the thing is, why are they doing that? If you are completely cut off from trade,
Yeah.
if you are completely cut off from trade and you don't have access to food, what are you going to do? You're going to feed your soldiers because you think you're under imminent attack. Like this is just perfectly rational behavior of what every nation on earth would do if their entire population was starving. You would start prioritizing certain sectors, which is what they did. And it's like it's not like that they just actively sit there thinking, how do we starve our citizens? Like actually what happened is the US just cut off all their trade. So
Is
they
that true?
had no they were starving.
Oh, I
Well,
thought
that was the whole thing.
there's
Like they were
actually-
trying to like it's basically it's a country under siege. Now obviously you don't agree with the administration or whatever, but that doesn't mean that like what the US are doing or had been doing up until Trump. Actually, again, as you were saying, Trump has had like a more humane,
It's been that's
normal,
Trump's
reasonable
The
response
only
to
instance,
North
but it's
Korea.
true,
Yeah.
and I will stick by this. No matter Trump's policy on North Korea was way more sophisticated than any of his predecessors since the Korean War.
Yeah.
There is another thing about North. So when North Korea first established after the Korean War, they had this idea of they knew that they were going to be cut off by hostile powers because of every communist country was being cut off by the Western Bloc. So they developed this policy of self-sufficiency. So they said
Junche.
Jungjae, yeah. So they said that
kimchi.
There's
Go on.
And that's why they were starving. We know about it.
Kamsamida. See, I know how to say thank you.
So the military the regime in North Korea said that we need to ensure that no matter what happens that we are able to sustain our entire population. This is okay for like a lot of countries including Australia where we have huge farming lands and everything. It's a bit of an issue for Korea because they don't have natural resources, they have limited capacity of farming. But they in fact during the first 10 years in the 60s, North Korea was progressing at a much faster rate than South Korea was, particularly because of this policy of theirs. But eventually, with like sort of modern day economy, we realized that for countries like Korea, an export-driven economy is way better. You can't just sustain on creating your own stuff. And so South Korea became super rich, and North Korea didn't. And that's part of the reason why they have these incredible starvation.
Can I just ask real quick? In 2 sentences, it's such a dick thing just to ask, but what the hell?
Look. And I'll also say this about South Korea, free trade, rich. North Korea, self-sufficiency, poor. Not accurate. I mean, look, yes, South Korea does have free trade. They were allowed free trade because obviously the US wanted to prop up South Korea. But this is the whole thing about Japan and South Korea. It was in the US's interest to allow Japan and South Korea to develop in a way that made them rich and prosperous because they wanted to contain China, they wanted to contain North Korea.
And this is an
set
explicit
example of it.
policy.
And this is explicit
Truman's
policy.
Marshall Plan was dictated to do exactly that, to contain Soviet Union and prop up Germany.
And the thing is,
France
it's
again.
not to say that what South Korea and Japan have done post-World War is not phenomenal.
Incredible,
They
yeah.
have done extremely well. Like as just a reminder, South Korea was poorer than Ethiopia after the Second World War, and now they're richer than we are.
They're richer than we are.
They're richer than we are, but they also had a dictator in power. That dictator got some goddamn results. But the thing is that they did not follow like the free trade reign that the rest of the US imposes on, say, Southeast Asian nations or African nations or South American nations. They allowed them to follow the path of development that the US and England followed, which was make your own industries, make your industries really big, really prosperous, really competitive, put all of your investment into that instead of just sticking with making kimchi.
Yeah,
Like that was just because that's what they would say. The mode of trade that the US would give to every other country is you're really good at growing potatoes, grow potatoes.
Right.
Whereas Korea was just like, we're good at growing potatoes, but we want to get good at making televisions. And the US to them said, that's fine, you can make televisions. But then when like Vietnam or something said, we want to make televisions, they were like, no, you're going to be a sweatshop for us. So it just depended on
they just
their
deny
interest.
trade to them in general.
What-
That in itself is pretty, if you can imagine, it's horrible for a country when they're just saying, no, you can't trade with anyone. And coming from like a superpower that is the biggest market anyway, so everyone wants to trade with
And the thing is,
US.
again, like what Ali was saying, when it comes to North Korea and self-sufficiency, North Korea didn't have a choice. North Korea did want to trade with the rest of the world. It's just that the US put such strict imposed trade restrictions on them that they couldn't. So what are you going to do? Like, you have to be self-sufficient.
That's certainly the case now, but maybe like very in the inception of North Korea, that might not have been the case. But certainly the case now. Dude, why do you think that they are negotiating with Trump? They really want to trade. They want to be like Vietnam. They just want to like come out of this. But they want to do it in an organized manner that doesn't dismantle their regime, because they like the idea of their regime being in power. And that's essentially the biggest. That's the big
I don't think that's
issue
the case. Like,
between US and North Korea.
Like the difference between North Korea and China at the beginning of like their like cultural revolutions or whatever really wasn't that different.
No, it's still
and China wanted to trade with the outside world as well, but again, trade sanctions.
Yeah, China actually. I was reading this thing. Let's not get into it, but there's this whole. It's true. I'll read up more on it before I comment on this one. But there's this theory. At this point, I'll just say theory that Mao's policies set the stepping stone for Deng Xiaoping to be able to lead an export-driven economy. Had he not organized the labor force? Anyways, that's I'll do some more research.
No, but that makes a lot of sense. Like, obviously, what he was really doing at that time was trying to put together a country that was weak and collapsing. Yeah. That's a very difficult task when you're trying to organize 1 billion people.
Okay,
he could have done it with a smile.
Should we quickly? There's a lot of people that want us to talk about the Cairns UK thing, but we've already spoken about this a little bit. But this is the idea that Australia, Canada, UK, and New Zealand have a free trade agreement, freedom of movement. Basically, working in the UK or Canada would be as simple as working in Queensland or Victoria. And obviously, trade will be free. And there's this basically establishing what New Zealand and Australia have between Canada and the UK as well.
Fuck that.
I have my own.
Wait, didn't we already talk about this like 2 weeks ago?
This,
maybe
but they still
Canada, not the UK.
It's already a thing with the UK. It won't change anything.
No, it's not a thing with the UK.
Yeah, it is.
No. We've got something pretty loose with the UK, but not as loose as New Zealand.
There's a visa exchange.
You can just come here and be like, "Can I get the doll, cousin?" They're just like, "Yeah." Fine.
And that's what they're saying.
No, they don't. You can't get you can't get the doll if you're from New Zealand.
Yeah, you can.
No, yes, you can, and you can even get like Medicare. Just
a mate of mine's been here for like 10 years and he can't get the doll.
Yeah, but that's because he's a stoner and he's not organised enough to
get it. That's not true.
Maybe not doll, but there are social benefits.
Not the doll.
I swear you can get the doll.
No, it's not.
Guys in the comments, can you get the doll if you're a Kiwi?
Fine,
because there's probably about 50 Kiwis watching.
Yeah,
please don't import UK's immigration mess. My point
immigration?
Is more like the immigration, like don't get so many like the immigrants that live in the UK.
Is that what? But I thought it. Oh
but
yeah.
That's not my biggest concern. Is that like the UK is a way bigger market.
Can't get
than
the
us.
doll from New Zealand.
Can't get the doll from New Zealand.
If you're from New Zealand, can't get the doll if you're from New Zealand.
Wait, can we go to New Zealand and get the doll?
No.
My whole life is a lie.
No, I think we
This is
can.
the bedrock of my entire political knowledge.
I think we can.
Why
can get it. They can't get the dole, but they can get like Medicare and all these other social benefits that
maybe
we
Medicare
wouldn't be allowed to any other citizen except for New Zealand one. But I think Australians can get dole in New Zealand because I remember this being a point that they had. Like, well, why don't you do it for us if we do it for you? Anyways, let me know.
Because your doll's shitter than ours.
Is it?
I think so.
This is just
they're way poorer than we are.
This is just
they are.
Well, they're tiny.
North Korea.
Well, they're small.
What?
They're a tiny slither of a volcanic. Like, give them a break.
No, no, it's your fault for looking like a turd. So
yeah, I'll back that. He's got a point.
Whereas Australia looks like the picture on some Vegemite containers.
Do you think Australia is just like, what do you call it? Like the movie world of the globe? Like everyone looks at Australia and they're like, it's that joke country. Yeah, the things jump like kangaroos.
I think everyone. I know that Americans think of us as like a paradise.
I'm starting to think that like we live in a
beach pad. Everyone surfs
let's be
and
honest,
hangs
it
out
is
with
a paradise.
kangaroos.
No, it is a paradise.
How we've made a living out of just being like the world's pretty fucked. Australia's fucked. We have money.
Yeah,
there's really not that much to complain about.
Yeah, there's not.
At least
look, dude, we are really
there's
reduced to this. This is how good we have it in Australia. I am seriously contemplating my next video to be, what the fuck? What do you mean you're getting rid of those speed signs? Not on my watch.
Yeah. I know, that's as bad as it gets.
You're doing some great work here.
And by the way, I think everybody would be sitting there going, amen.
They're all into it. 100%. No, I just think it's like, I like it. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying like in terms of that perspective, like it's kind of, I don't know. It's just I think America has a tinge of that too, where it's just like the Wild West and there's the outback. But I don't know. It's just
We're
sometimes
very similar to the U.S. in many ways. Not
We are.
culturally, but
No,
like every other
there are-
dynamic about.
no, even culturally now because of
We are America.
we just are America with like
I thought
funny
that was a
accents.
controversial opinion. That's right. Yeah, maybe not culturally, but
No, we are.
we are. We're
Thanks,
kind of, we're
Netflix.
small scale America.
It was worth it. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, I don't know what else going on.
But, so okay, so cans. My take on it is like again, it's fine, but the UK is a way bigger market than us. We're gonna lose a lot of people through brain drain. We're gonna have a lot more disadvantages economically. If you want to know exactly what's gonna happen, look at what happened in New Zealand when they did it with us. A similar thing's gonna happen. So I think I'm not okay with the UK being involved in this. No cultural reason, no immigration reason, just for economic reasons.
Yeah.
That's my
like
take.
well at the moment
And dude, like, come on, I live in Bondi. We've got enough cunts from the UK.
they all hyperflate. They all go
Don't
there.
you think, just my luck, don't you think Scott Morrison at the last moment will just be like, okay, we are upgrading this from the agreement between New Zealand, Canada, and UK to include Brazil? That'll be the last thing. And then I'm gone. I can't handle it anymore. Yeah, I hear the drumming.
That's gonna be bad.
But I don't think that they'll ever open up again because isn't there strategy to fighting COVID still just like, you want to get rid of COVID? Just go to the gym, yes? Make sure that you're very manly.
No, not a lie. It's good to be feeling
I
healthy.
mean, Mislav has been pumping it and he doesn't have it yet.
That's right. Yeah.
Hey, we're almost out of time. Should we do that family law segment, or should we keep that for next
Wait
time?
a sec. Family law.
Oh, let's start with this then, guys. All right. What do you think about this?
And he's going to say something stupid.
Careful, everybody.
He's gonna say something
I can't even tell if you're
stupid.
scared or you just want this to be cancelled. I don't know.
No, what are you
No,
talking about?
we like
Bit
it.
of both.
We like food.
We like.
We still want antibiotics and vaccines and everything, but we also want burrito.
What are our lives?
World's most impressive man. Let's bring it back.
Oh,
I think I have the definitive
I think that's
answer.
the one to do. I like that. I have to think
What?
about it though. I have to think about it.
I've been thinking about it a lot. It just popped to me out of
we
inspiration
can.
in the shower.
We can.
This is amazing because everybody just kept writing during last week. Is Jordan okay? Is Jordan okay? Yeah, dude. Like the whole time I was thinking about this answer. Just you wait.
Yeah.
What's yours? Then you start off.
World's most impressive man.
World's most.
Answer. Leighton Hewitt. Come on.
gonna be able
Can
to
you
top
beat
that.
it? Can you beat
I don't
it?
think I'll be able to
Guys in the
top that.
comments, you could try and beat that, but that is the best answer.
What about rye?
No,
Yeah.
dude, I actually do think he is like one of the most impressive men on earth.
Okay.
The fact
I
that
gotta
he
think
was
about it.
able to be the sound that you equate with coming up on 10 Sexy Summer in 2006, reruns of the OC again.
I gotta think of this. Okay. Let me think. I had one and I just lost it. I had one. All right. What if it's like really obscure? Then it's not gonna be
preferable.
funny, right?
Always
Yeah, go
preferable.
for it. What have you
But I
got?
don't even know his name.
Are you talking about that midget that Ali knows?
No.
That one that was like the Pizza Hut mascot.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I
He's dead.
wish.
He's dead.
I wish. Oh, what a.
They can be alive.
Oh
or dead.
boy, sorry. This reminds me, and I need. Maybe this is an up late one, but did you know? Did you guys know that Mini Me from Austin Powers? Remember that actor?
yeah.
He has a sex tape.
Oh no way.
Well, yeah, we're watching that up
this
late.
is
All
after
right,
this.
if you want our exclusive commentary to Mini Me fucking someone, you are going to have to become a patron.
Yeah, for the up late ones, because we are definitely
that is
gonna
not- if
talk
that's not
about
a
that.
sell.
And you know what else is a sell? You know what else we're going to be talking about? The fact that Ringo Starr's son and Liam Gallagher from Oasis had a fight in a supermarket.
See, England's not all bad.
Yeah, royalty fighter.
All right,
bad.
most impressive man, Ringo Starr's son.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll give. Let's give Miss Love the last word. Miss, we've got to go. But do you want to say something?
Wait, did you make your point already?
Yeah. Mine was Thirsty
Jesus,
Merc.
I already forgot. Mine's really like not that good, but I don't know his name. But see if anyone says in the comments they know this band. The singer. No, maybe the guitarist. Now let's stick with the singer. The singer from Mudvayne. Does anyone know Mudvayne? Tell us in the
What?
comments.
No, tell us what yours is.
Yeah, I'll do my rendition of one of their songs.
You know what's a really fucking funny answer? Someone came up with it.
What?
Kerry Packer.
That takes the cake, actually. I think Leighton Hewitt's the best, but Kerry
Leighton
Packer
Hewitt is pretty good.
Kerry
All right,
Packer's
well,
a
thank
shot
you guys
setter.
for
Curly
joining us
also
tonight.
special commendation.
Who?
Curly.
James Curly.
Author
The
of
Bible.
Plan.
Where is
guy.
the Bible?
But that was our OG most impressive man. That's how he started.
Yeah,
right?
just start
Have
that.
we still got the Bible?
Thank you for joining us tonight. We will see you guys next week.
Thanks for
And
still sticking in there.
Thanks again. We can't thank you enough for your support. I don't know if we should say this, but we have more patrons than ever, and thank you so much for that.
But that's not an excuse for you not to sign up. You are going to listen to our weird sexual proclivities that we talk about every week, and if they've changed that week, the answer is always no.
No, we're still into our weird shit. But anyways, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week. And for those of you who are patrons, we'll see you for the Up Late Pod.
Bye.